have two incredible realtors on the line. They'll both beat Ari Barkamp for sure. We have the amazing Karen Gomez and the amazing Jeff Corriolan with us. Jeff has now taught 2 classes in a row, and this is Karen's first class of the year. Both of you, thank you so much for your time. Karen, go ahead and introduce yourself and then toss yourself over to Jeff, and then we'll get started with the class.
Hello, everyone. My name is Karen Gomez, realtor with RESF and YPN board member.
Jeff?
Hey, good afternoon, Jeff Corriolan, MIAMI YPN board member, going on my 5th year. So excited to be here with you guys, and also a part of eXp Realty.
Awesome. So let's get this party started. I'm going to share my screen.
Hey, let's drop some locations first. Where is everyone tuning in from? Definitely want to take a poll. I love polls. So where is everyone tuning in from? Drop your city.
Pembroke Pines, Miami Lakes. Awesome. Miami Homestead, Plantation, Doral. We have Weston in the house. Awesome. Miramar, Mexico, Phoenix, Arizona. Wow.
Wow, we have somebody in a different state.
That's awesome. They must be
amazing. What up, Mexico? What up, Arizona?
Welcome, welcome, everybody. So let's get started. So today we're going to teach you a little bit about what Jeffrey and I do as professionals when we get ready to launch our listing. So first things first, you guys want to order your outdoor sign. Let's make this a little bit interactive. I want to know, why do we have to order our sign? What's the main reason we want to order our sign first? Anybody? Not all of you at the same time, please. Jeff.
I want all the leads. That's what I want.
So yes, well, one of the reasons, yes, we want all the leads. You want to make sure you have that exposure. First thing, you want to hype up the neighborhood. Oh my God, a for sale sign just went up, guys. Let's see how much are they selling for. This is going to be a great way to generate leads and hype up that listing.
Definitely going to be able to piggyback off of that when we talk about the purpose of alerting the neighborhood.
Yes. So here we gave you guys a Miami-Dade and also Broward people that can help you guys put up your post with a sign. We have Posted Up and Real Post. You have the contact information there. So you guys want to take a screenshot or a picture of this. This is who Jeffrey and I use to put up our signs.
Quick tip though, Karen, we want to let them know that you want to make sure you know what the guidelines are for the city that you're in, because some municipalities require certain sizes. Some of them don't allow polls. They allow other ways of advertising your home. So just make sure that you guys know what's happening in that city or that municipality as well.
Correct. And also some associations don't allow, so you want to get if the house has an association, make sure that they don't have any other regulations as well. Up next,
decide on how are you going to show the property. Are you going to personally show? Are you going to use a Supra? Are you going to use a lockbox? We highly recommend do not use lockboxes. Use Supras. It provides you the opportunity of tracking who's coming in and outside of the home. It lets you know if the agent just left. So we highly recommend Supras, which is definitely a free item with Miami Association of Realtors. Your e-key is free with your membership. And then what you just basically do is you just basically purchase the Supra lockbox. You can have as many as you want. There's no limit on them. But decide on if you're going to personally show the listing, if you're going to use a lockbox or a Supra.
It's time to schedule your professional video and walkthrough and photos. According to NAR, in 2020 and 2021, 85% of showings were done online and virtual. So right now, guys, everybody is glued to their phones. You want to make it as easy as possible for them to look at your property. So make sure you guys are doing HD photos and the walkthrough video. On picture day, it's time to prepare for picture day. So make sure you guys arrive early before your appointment. If your client needs some help moving things around, to make sure you guys get good angles, good photos, no clutter, remove everything that might look a little bit cluttered. Take some behind the scenes photos for your social media content. I gave you guys some examples there. Hype up your social media with this new listing that you're getting.
A couple of tips for the sellers. One thing that you want to do is you don't want to be there, even though you do arrive early, you don't want to be there trying to organize the house. So just let them know about a lot of things that what they probably should do is probably box up a lot of stuff, no dishes in the sink, make sure the beds are made up. Make sure personal photos are taken down. I think that's very, very important because once it goes up on the internet, it stays there. Make sure that the house is as staged as possible. Like, for example, if you can think of a magazine or think about ever going into a new construction home and the way that looks, you want to make sure your listing looks just like that, because understanding that we always state that when someone personally comes into a home, that's the second time of them seeing it. Their first time of actually seeing your listing is through the MLS, through the photos, and through what you're marketing the home with.
You received your pictures and your video. Now what, guys? You have to start ordering your marketing collateral. You can use Express Logs. You can use Canva to create your marketing. Make sure you prep with your just listed, open house, for rent, for depending on what it is. Make sure you guys create all that collateral, so when you're ready to launch your listing, you already have everything to go. Also use Box Brownie to edit or remove unwanted items. Draft an email blast for your just listed or your open house.
Beautiful. But let's go back real quick, Karen. Before you go into, for example, Box Brownie, some people are using Canva, some people use Express Docs. We want to hear from you guys. What are you guys using to create those flyers? I know some people use Adobe Creator. I know some people use Keynote as well to create flyers. What are you guys all using? Canva? Canva?
Canva, yeah.
I love Canva. It's free.
Canva, so for the most part, everybody's.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Ro.
Hey,
Canva?
so, I'm sorry, Karen, right?
Yes, hi.
Hi, Karen. So the company that I use, I'm in New York. So the company that I use, the name of it is Home Tour Visions. What they do is, and I pay for it, is they do my pictures and my video and my drone. And then the marketing package that I get with that, they develop flyers, and like promotional stuff, like to post on Facebook and Insta.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome. So it's a one-stop shop. I love that.
Yeah, and you know what? I can tell them what to remove from the picture, what to, Photoshop if they need to. Like if a room, they'll photograph a room and there's just so much we can do to the room. They'll take the picture of the room and then we'll Photoshop it, and they'll plug in what it should look like.
Awesome. And do you know if they have those services here in South Florida?
I'm not sure. I mean, they're pretty much like in a lot of areas. You know what? I'm curious to know if they are in Florida. I could definitely find out for sure, but the name of it is Home Tour Visions. So I don't know if anyone wants to Google it and check it out.
All right, I'm gonna write it here on the chat. Thank you so much for that. We'll definitely look into it. Thank you.
Pretty cool. I also know some CRMs that are out there that once you get a listing and you put it in, it actually creates some designs as well. I know KV Core definitely does that too. So look into that. Look into what CRM is provided to you by your brokerage, and see if they design flyers for you also. And then I've heard of Fiverr, which is great too. I love their turnaround time.
Awesome. I see here on the chat that people use Fiverr as well. I've used Fiverr in the past too. They're extremely affordable to create your branding. And then we have here Rocket Lister as well. Awesome. Great tips, guys. Thank you.
Box brownie. So a lot of times we're not as fortunate as Ro is in New York. So when the photographers come out, what they basically do is they take the photos, but now what you want to do is you want to get creative. Sometimes the rooms are empty, and what you want to do is you want to show people what would a room look like. So what you can do is you can actually put a living room set in there. You can put a dining room set. You can put a pool table. I've done pool tables before. So Box Brownie is a company that basically allows you to pretty much show the home and in the showcase of what you want the buyer to look at. Also, let's say, for example, there's things that you want to remove. So let's say, for example, the carpet is a carpet that you think kind of is not in the best shape. You know, you can have the carpet removed. You can put laminate floors. You can put wood floors in there. Let's say, for example, also you want to show the home. What does it look like at night? Especially if you have like an infinity pool like what we're looking at right now, you can go ahead and you can change your images and have the sun show. You can have it be rainy. You can have it be nighttime. So Box Brownie is definitely a company that definitely has a great turnaround, very inexpensive. I've used them a lot of times on condos when you're trying to sell those 600 square feet places or those 800 square feet places, and you really want to show a buyer what can you put inside this home if they do move into it. Box Brownie has definitely come into hand. So definitely want to go ahead and add this to your favorites, boxbrownie.com. And the turnaround time is like actually 24 hours or less.
Yes, they're very quick. Alrighty, your remarks. Remarks are extremely important, especially with Google when people are searching for a very specific property location. You guys want to make sure that you fill in as much as possible. You want to give details about the entrance of the property. You want to give details about the type of appliances, the type of finishes. You want to see if it's located near downtown, Wynwood, if it has shopping centers around it. You really want to put as much possible. If it's near a highway, you want to make sure you include that. And very important here in South Florida, we have a huge popularity of Spanish speakers. So always Google Translate in Spanish and add those remarks as well. Jeff?
Oh, sorry. So with your listings, you want to make sure that if you're listing a condo, you're listing a townhome or a villa, that you definitely check with the MLS, check with the association first as well before you put that into the MLS, because what you want to do is you want to make sure that it's Airbnb friendly. So now what that's going to do is that's going to open up avenues for investors. You want to make sure, are pets allowed? Are pets not allowed? What's the weight requirement on pets? Are there any special assessments that's coming in? You would hate for a buyer to submit an application and then they find out that a special assessment of $60,000 is coming in for the next 10 years. And now you just killed the deal. You want to know if there's an HOA application that's due and what's the turnaround time. Another cool feature as you're keying in your stuff into the MLS, which Karen just spoke about, what's included in the HOA. So like, for example, if shuttle service included, if it's cables included, if lawn is included, if roof is included, those are things that you definitely want to make sure that stands out, because it's going to add value to why is that person paying that association fee. Then lastly, if there's any income requirements or credit scores, sometimes associations do have a minimum credit score of 700, 650, 580, and sometimes they have a minimum income requirement as well. You have to make 60,000, 30,000, 20,000. So you want to make sure that you get the information before you put the listing into the MLS, because what it's going to do is save you a lot of time in the long run.
Prepping your listing for showings and open house. You guys want to make sure you touch the 4 senses. You want to see the house clean and impeccable. You want to smell a nice scent. So make sure you guys use candles, the little plugins that you can put on the wall to create a nice smell when your clients are coming in. You want to make sure you hear a nice soft music in the background, create that ambience inside the property. And very important, you want to have good quality flyers and brochures to give out to really showcase how good of a professional you are. Active listing versus coming soon. I know that there's been a few changes recently, so Jeff, tell us.
So what does active mean? Active means that the home is ready to be shown. You can definitely schedule a showing, and if the showing is permitted at that time, you could probably go on the same day. But one of the cool things that came out that actually helped us out through the pandemic and allowed us to put us in the market that we're in right now, that we're so excited to be in, was the coming soon opportunity. It allowed sellers to basically get their homes prepared. So at the time that you sat down with them, you can definitely say, hey, we have a feature that provides 21 days of us pre-marketing, is what I call it, pre-marketing the home to get it prepared, get it showcased on all the websites, and let people know that we have a listing in this community that's coming up to the market. But what you cannot do is you cannot do any showings, you can't accept any offers. You can definitely answer questions if any realtors call you about that. But what it allows you to do is basically put the word out there that a listing's coming up. If you want to go ahead and you want to do postcards, or you want to do Canva advertisement as well in regards to coming soon, you can go ahead and do that. So 21 days prior to you actually going active, you can go ahead and do the coming soon. Just be cautious of the days. You may want to grab yourself a calendar, because on that 21st day or that 22nd day, the home will go active. And if the sellers happen to not be ready, you're going to get inundated with calls from realtors. So you want to make sure you keep a tracker on that.
Once you're ready for your MLS launch, make sure you have your professional photos, you have your remarks and your Spanish remarks.
Also, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and attach anything that you can to the MLS. Make it as easy for that showing agent or that selling agent. So like that, they know what the answers are. You can let them know that everything's in the MLS. If the buyer isn't here and it happens to be a buyer that's in New York, you can go ahead and provide a floor plan if you have one. A list of all the updates, I think, is really, really cool. So for example, if the seller just put in the porcelain floors that we saw, if they just put in those appliances, you want to make sure you have that. Seller's disclosure is very easily able to be accessible, because it lets people know what's going on with the property. Is there a special assessment, or is there a weight limit on pets? Can the property be rented out? Then if you're dealing with a condominium or maybe even a villa, having the budget there, it provides that opportunity for that selling agent or that showing agent to go ahead and supply that to the lender. So now the lender can review the budget and see what's going on there before they even request the showing, because they'll know if it works out for their buyer or not, or if a 20 or 25% is needed. Then after, what are the rules and regulations? So many times people move into associations and they want to know what the rules and regulations are, and that determines if they move into there or they don't move into there. So that's something else that if you can go ahead and attach, the most information makes it a lot easier. I see in the comments here, HOA minute meetings. I think that's a great idea as well. And then some associations also provide you the FAQ, the frequently asked questions. I think those are really easy because it's pretty much a one question with the one answer straight down. Sometimes you'll see 5 questions, 5 answers, 10, 20 on there. And it's pretty something very simple, because like that, now the selling agent can go ahead and provide that to the buyer, and the buyer will pretty much have all their questions answered before they even see the property.
Yes, all these attachments really makes us realtors, our life so much easier. When you have the attachments there that you just go into the MLS, and especially now with the condo associations, you know, we're going around trying to figure out, oh, does my client have to go 10-15% to purchase this condo, or does it have the reserves so we can just go 3 to 5% down? So this will make everybody's life easier. So make sure you guys are doing your due diligence when you get this listing prior to your MLS launch. Have everything ready so that you can make everyone's life much, much easier. Up next, once you guys are live, posting your listing on all social platforms, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok. All eyes are on social media right now, especially the TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. I mean, all of them, everybody's, I don't even know what's going on. I mean, everything has shifted to online. So if you guys are now showing and showcasing your listings on social media, you are missing out on a huge audience. And consider a small budget for boosting. Jeff, I know you want
Especially with the buyers that are coming from, I hear buyers coming from Texas, California, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, you know, providing that opportunity for that small little boost, if you're able to do it, provides you an opportunity to sometimes even double dip, which is I think a lot better than a one-sided deal. So think about that. And it also provides you opportunities to get other listings as well. I think as we talk about social media, it's being in the people's faces, so always think about having that small budget for boosting. What to do in what case? There's a question in the room, Karen. What to do in what case, Myra or Mayra?
Yeah, hi. Yeah, in that case, I'm not a millennial, so I'm not too, I don't work too good with social media. In case that you would like to be close to the buyers out of states, what do you recommend?
I think social media is really easy these days. If you don't know how to operate through it, you may want to maybe take a social media course, maybe partner up with someone that understands how to boost, where to boost. But I think it's really easy. If you ever walk yourself through it, you'll notice how easy it is. You can also do ads through Facebook as well. But highly recommend a social media course, which I think Miami Association of Realtors offers, as well as Miami YPN.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, there's a lot of marketing agencies that take care of everything for you. You would just have to give them all your information. They kind of get to know you a little bit. So when they're managing and doing all these ads, it actually sounds like you. And I mean, it's a game changer.
Maybe even looking into a VA, a virtual assistant as well, that's savvy with that type of stuff, and they can help you out. They're as low as $3, $4 an hour.
Well, what do you said in MBA?
A virtual assistant, correct.
Oh, visual assistant. Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Prospect. Oh, this is one of my favorites. You guys want to make sure you're prospecting. You're just listed, just sold, your open houses. Call your friends, call your family, call the neighbors. On Remind, you guys can get a list of all the neighbors. It has great data with phone numbers, emails. When you have your open house, door knock for your open house, or you're just listed. It's very important for you guys to prospect so that you can obtain more listings.
Especially if you're hosting open houses, you definitely want to door knock for those as well. Even send out postcards. I think now there's texting apps that are out there. So if you have people's information, you can text them the information about what's going on. So you definitely want to never think about, and I always say this, Karen, never think about one listing as that one-shot opportunity. Always thinking about the buyers that are within that community, the buyers you're able to target to, the realtors you're able to grab their attention, and then lastly, the other sellers that are considering to sell. And now what they're doing is they're watching you to see what you're doing, to see how you're going to showcase their home as well.
Post showing, ask for realtor feedback.
Especially with where we may say that the market may be going, Karen, right now, we're noticing some price reductions happening. So that realtor feedback really helps you out when you're able to say to the seller, hey, we've been on the market for 15 days. We've been on the market for 30 days. We're not getting the offers that we need. We may need to consider a price reduction. And now if the realtors are providing that feedback to you, it makes you be concrete evidence,
So client update sheet. So this is the client update sheet that we have here. I can send you guys a copy. You just type in your email and you guys can change it up to brand it to yourselves. But this is great because I send this out every Monday to all my clients that I have their listings. If any offers have been sent, I write there all the offers, the showing activity, plus the feedback from whoever I show the property to, the marketing plan, what has been done. So they kind of see that step by step, and they have, they have it in writing what you're doing to showcase their listing. If there needs to be any pricing adjustments, what's next? So you finish showing, what's next? Are you going to do an open house? Are you going to host a broker's open? So this keeps you really close and tight with your client, because one of the things that sellers usually talk about is the communication between realtor and your client. People don't want to list sometimes with realtors because of the miscommunication, but making sure that you have an update sheet where you're constantly every Monday following up with them and showing them what you're doing to showcase your listing is a huge game changer. And last but not least, close it.
Beautiful.
Does anybody have any questions?
Hey, I think they love the template that you showed. I don't know if you want to go back to that, but the room is excited about the template there. So she does have a version of it that if you do drop your email address here, we'll definitely get it out to you. Or what we can do, Kevin, is we can maybe send it out to all the participants here today.
Yes.
Not a problem.
Beautiful.
I'll send you guys the unbranded version so you guys can have it. And this is a huge game changer, guys. You're sending it out to your clients every Monday. I mean, you can choose the date that you follow up with your clients, but I always do it fresh every Monday. Any showings, open houses, I make sure to fill them in with details so that they always know that, you know, you're on top of the listing. And this is what we're doing to sell it.
Good stuff. Any questions or comments from anyone? Questions? Or anything that we may have missed that you guys are presently doing right now?
Is there any automated way to send the information to fill into the listing activity? No. You gotta do the work.
One thing that you could use though, Karen, is if you do get the realtor feedback, it does provide you the opportunity to add the owner to that, or it does provide you an opportunity to download the report and send that to the owner as well. So if it's either one or the other.
We have here, would you recommend the seller doing an inspection or appraisal prior to listing?
It all depends on the condition of the home. So right now we're battling the issue of do we list that at 800,000, for example, or do we go at 750? We're not too sure where the market's going. So if you're falling into that area and the seller definitely wants to work with you, you may want to go ahead and say, hey, let's go ahead and let's do an appraisal on the property so we know exactly where we're at, so we're not wasting any time. I think inspections are great when you walk into older homes and you notice that they need work. So what it provides that opportunity for the seller to be aware of the issues that are in the home. They can decide if they're going to fix the issues or if they're going to provide a credit or if they're just going to be knowledgeable of it. And then like that, it also provides you an opportunity to talk to the buyer and let the buyer know. But I think inspections also work when you're talking about pricing as well. So like, for example, if you go ahead and you do a pre-listing inspection, there's tons of companies that do that for as low as $200 and $250. This is the pre-listing inspection. I know TrueView is one of the companies that does that. And let's say, for example, the roof's bad, you know that, hey, you can't price the home at 300. There's a $30,000 roof work that needs to be done. So let's go ahead and let's price the house at 280, adjusting for the roof work that needs to be done automatically. So I think it goes back into, Stacy, it goes back into the conditions that you may be falling into at that present moment.
Okay, can you recommend a good VA service?
Virtual assistant, I use A1 Virtual. You can Google them. I can try to get you the information in the meantime. Go to my email.
Other places to advertise your listing other than social media and the ones we know about already. So, I mean, once the listing goes live on the MLS, they do a great way of showcasing it to all the websites, property websites. So besides property websites, social media, the ads that you can boost. Let me think, what else? I mean, advertising yourself, the prospecting, calling other neighbors, calling, friends, family, trying to find out, maybe you can, trying to think. You can also network it with, for example, if you're part of any networks like YPN, Women's Council of Realtors, usually there's a chat going on that you can send it to your own fellow realtors as well. Everybody's always looking to work a deal together. So maybe, advertising within your own network of realtors as well. Jeff, I don't know if you know anything else.
The power of collaboration is amazing. I'm not too sure what question you're on.
I was on any other places to advertise besides social media and the places that we already know?
So I had one of my agents, I run a team. I had one of my agents advertise her listing at $849,000. She advertised it to Craigslist and was able to get the buyer herself. Be cautious of Craigslist, but it was a buyer that she got herself. And I've also heard of people advertising on Pinterest as well. So those are two cool places that I think you could definitely go to. I think Facebook Marketplace is great as well. If you're a part of Nextdoor, there's another one, there's Nextdoor and there's something else if you're a part of those, or if you are living in an association and there's a bulletin board and you want to go ahead and advertise it to, or once again, if you're a part of any committees or any chambers, you want to go ahead and provide it to them as well there. Should sellers have their own attorney? I wasn't always big in an additional party being attached to deals, but maybe about 3-4 years ago, I started using seller attorneys or different title companies to prepare seller docs for us. And it's provided that opportunity when we do run into like a headache. Now we have 2 different title companies, so everyone knows what part they play rather than one title company now having to decide what's the best way to go. So I think it definitely depends on the situation. I think it's also about relationships that you build as well. So if you build relationship with some great title companies and they do have attorneys on hand and they can provide those seller docs opportunities, you definitely want to tap into them. Karen, what type of agent reports are there for their own listings to provide for sellers? I'm not following that question. If you want to unmute yourself, I think they have access to unmuting themselves, right, Kevin?
Yes.
If you want to unmute yourself, you can.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you so much for taking the question. I was just wondering, once you have a listing, if there's anything as far as like in MLS, as far as activity reports and such that can give some more feedback or that can be looked at so that, you could give some more feedback to the seller. Like Zillow gives like owner report as far as like how many saved, how many views, that sort of thing. So I was just curious if there's any good reports that could be, supplemented to that.
I always use reverse prospecting. That's a big one that I use. I always use showing time or showingly. But the reverse prospecting, going back to that, the reason I use that is because it provides the opportunity for me to see how many realtors sent the property out to their friends, how many people sent the property out to their clients, and that determines. So like, for example, if I listed something 3-4 days ago and it was sent over to 300 realtors or 300 realtors sent it out to their clients and we have no offers, I understand that there may be a pricing issue there. So always keep an eye on your reverse prospecting.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I have like a question and also like a kind of a conversation to have. But as far as like listings, do we feel like buyers now have the right again to negotiate prices down again, even for condos and single family homes?
I did a live about that last night. If you go to my Instagram, you'll hear my feedback. I actually did a poll on it last night. I like to go live like around 9-10 o'clock just to see who's up. And I believe it's still a strong seller's market. I listed a condo, listen to me, I listed a condo at 175. I ended up executing $40,000 above, multiple offers. I listed a property at 800. I ended up executing at multiple offers. One of them was cash. I still think it's a strong seller's market still at this time. It all depends on just pricing the property right.
Gotcha.
What about you, Karen? What do you think?
No, it's on pricing the property right. The property's priced right, you will have multiple offers. All right, do we have anything else? I've never done reverse prospecting. I'll try that.
Sharon, we can do a screen share on that real quick if the time permits. Someone asked for my Instagram. If you want to grab your phone right now, I am on Instagram and all other platforms by my name, Jeffrey Corriolan.
All right, let's do a screenshot. If you guys are able to put your camera on, we would love to see your faces for this screenshot.
Wait, I'm not even there.
Oh, there we go. Wow, so many beautiful people on here, guys. You guys should have turned on your camera from the beginning. I'm gonna do one of these. Say cheese, everyone. All right, Jeff, you did the screenshot?
Yes. I was hoping I could just use yours.
Well, I did
On
a
there.
selfie, so let's do a screenshot. Everybody smile one more time.
Oh, that's so cool. I didn't even think of that.
You're doing it, Jeff?
Yes, got it. Done.
Woo. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining. I hope you guys got a lot of golden nuggets. Kill it in this market. I look forward to working with you guys soon. Have a blessed day.
Give up on my way.